Hello and welcome to Logos College Online Learning. This is Achan Toto. Today, this is pronunciation, and this is online learning, but we'll still be using the same book right here. This is your English pronunciation in use book. Right? So every day that you come to class, make sure you have your book with you, and this way you can follow along on the slideshow that I present off of, and I record the slideshow using OBS software, and then I upload the video onto your classroom. Right? So your classroom, let's take a look. So this is your classroom, and if you are year one, you have a DEM or DEE 2 something. So pronunciation is year one. You click on it and you come to your classroom stream. And then if you go to classwork, you have all the topics that are assigned for each professor. And I'll be doing pronunciation 2 with you. You click on pronunciation 2. I have some things I've listed. I always give, if you haven't, if I haven't taught you before, I always give a slideshow as material for you to look at, to follow along. Something that we're doing this year that's new is attendance check-in. So 5 minutes before class starts. So in the morning, class starts at 8:40. So this attendance sheet will be available for you. It's one question. And you have to answer, are you here or are you late? That's it. Right. At night, the evening students, because class starts at 5:40, right, the question is released to you at 5:35 p.m. So what you do is you would come in here and you would check, I am here. Right? If you're late, so if class starts at 5:40 and it's 5:50, 5:51, you're late. So make sure that this assignment, this question, is the first thing that you answer before you go and watch your video. Okay? Because if you're on time, you get 4 marks. If you're late, you get 2 marks. If you're absent, you get 0 marks. You're absent after 30 minutes from the time the class starts. So if in the evening, class usually starts at 5:40, you're absent at 6:11, you're absent. Right? And Google, they put a time stamp on every response. So your teachers will know. The morning, you're late after 9:10. All right, let's get out of here. So if you look at your material, it says, I posted a new slideshow, Pronunciation 2 Online Learning Review. And you click on that, and it takes you to the Google slide. Something like this, all right? So this is the title slide. And today, I kind of wanted to just review a little bit about everything that I have taught so far in pronunciation. I talked to a couple of the other teachers, and some of them might have taught a little more, and some of them might have not taught as much yet. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to start with a review today, and then we're here together for 5 weeks. And then starting next week, I'm going to start going to the phonemes, right? The IPA chart. And then we're going to do a lot of some stuff you might have done before, but that's okay. Some stuff might be new to you. And that'll be a good way for you to learn also. So as you're watching this slide shows, I want you to have your book with you. And after the slideshow, if you have any questions, about how to do your homework, or if you have any questions about the lesson, you can send me a WhatsApp, or you can start a Google Meet with me if you like. Google Meet is, if this is your Gmail page, where your emails are, you come here, you say a new meeting, and then you could send me an invite to my email address, and I can join your invite. If you want me to start a Google Meet for your class, I can do that too, and I can post all the information onto your Google Stream here, so then all your classmates can join in. I can't do a Google Meet for all year 2 students, because that's too many students, and it gets really crazy. All right, so let's start with our review today. So pronunciation, last term, and pronunciation is important because we want to say words correctly, right? Because we want people to understand us when we speak, and a big important part of that is to pronounce words correctly, right? And the subject is pronunciation, right? Not pronunciation, but pronunciation. First, I want to start off with syllables. All right? What is a syllable? And all words have syllables, at least one. There's one syllable words, and it gets up to a lot. It could get up to 7, 8, 9, 10 syllable words. And a syllable is a part of a word that has a vowel sound and all the consonant sounds around it. Right? So you've learned from your time learning English, your vowel sounds are A, E, I, O, U, sometimes Y. Right? But I don't want you to focus on the letter. Focus on the sound. Look at the word snap. It has one vowel sound, and it's the letter A. So this sound is ah, the ah sound. And notice all the consonant sounds around it, the s, the n, and the p sound. And all this is just one syllable because there is only one vowel sound. Look at this word, basket. Notice this has 2 vowel sounds, the ah and the eh. And this has 2 syllables because there are 2 vowel sounds. So keep that in mind. Vowel sounds, not letters. For example, if I type in the word chair, you have to keep in mind that chair is only one syllable. Even though this has 2 vowel letters, the letter A and the letter I. But this is only one sound. This is the air sound, the ea, ea. Right? So you have to be careful. A syllable is just one vowel sound and all the consonants around it. Not vowel letters, but vowel sounds. Okay. A good way to see how many syllables a word has is like you see in the picture, is when you clap, right? So you say snap. That you clap 1 time, it has 1 syllable. Say basket. You clap 2 times, it has 2 syllables. Moving on, then you learn stress. What is word stress? All words that have more than 1 syllable have word stress. Words that are usually 1 syllable are usually always stressed anyways. So if more than 1 syllable is usually stressed and the other syllable unstressed. Like in the word China. So here, syllable number 1 is stressed and syllable number 2 is unstressed. Look at this word. This has 3 syllables, right? And you pronounce it like this, committee. Committee. If you notice, the second syllable is stressed. syllable 1 and syllable 3 are unstressed. Usually one syllable is longer and louder than the other. And the next thing is very important here. It says English words has its own rhythm. And that's true. So when you speak, it's like singing. When you sing, you have a rhythm, right? There's up and down, and then you pause and you stop. And then you stress and you say things louder than other words, or you say some words louder than other words. And that's called rhythm. And when you speak, you also have rhythm, especially in English. Word stress plays an important role of correct pronunciations of English words. You have to stress certain syllables correctly, or it'll just sound funny. Right? Like teacher. When you say teacher, the first syllable is stress, right? Teach is stress, and then ch is unstressed. You say teacher. And sometimes you'll hear people say teacher, and then so that sounds funny because we stress the wrong syllable there. Right? So keep in mind that we do have to stress the correct syllable, so that the person listening to us knows the correct word and meaning that we're saying. Numbers are important when you speak. Look at this number over here. This is 13, right? So your book likes to have the big circle as stress and small circle as unstressed. So number 13, 1, 3, looks like this. Over here, this is 30. And 30 is 3, 0. 14, 40, 16, 60, 18, 80, 19, 90. So when you stress, patterns can help you hear the difference between similar words. So when we stress, we just don't stress words, we also stress expressions. These are some common expressions that you say every day. Expressions like good morning. You notice this has 3 syllables, good, more, and ning. And you stress the middle one right here, more. Right? You say good morning, right? Good evening, right? Excuse me, how are you? You're welcome, I'd love to. Here, this stress pattern is stress, unstress, stress. Right? What's your name? What's the time? Thanks a lot. Close the door. Don't forget. So again, stress is not just important in syllables for words, but also in expressions when you speak, when you read sentences, and when you ask questions. Here's a very common one. This has 4 syllables, 1, 2, 3, 4. The first and the last are stressed. Right? What do you do? Where do you live? What do you want? So just keep in mind that English has a lot of rhythm, and when you speak, you have ups and downs when you speak. Okay, let's take a look at your calendar. All right. And today is May 5th, and then next class is May 12th, 19th, 26th, June 2nd. Right, so we have 5 weeks of online learning together that we're going to do. And then after that, you're going to have a final exam. Unless things change, we don't know yet. But right now, we're planning for all of month of May to be online learning. All right. This is on page 139 in your book. Page 139. And it says stress. All right, let's just do a quick exercise to remind everybody. They would like us to underline the word with a different stress pattern given. Look at the example. You say it like this. enjoy. Enjoy, relax, visit, explain. So here, they want, I think I gave the directions wrong, I'm sorry. They want you to give the word, find the word with the stress pattern given, right? So this is stress, unstress. So the word visit, you stress one, you unstress two. Let's look at a couple of these. We won't go through all of them. You could do this in your own time. Number one, they want unstressed, stressed, unstressed, right? So look at this word. You say hamburger, potato, onions, sandwiches. Again, hamburger, potato, onions, sandwiches. So here, the word that has this stress pattern is going to be right here, potato. Let me make that line darker. Okay. Because this is unstressed, stress, unstressed. Let's come down to number 4. Weekend, Saturday, Sunday, Tuesday. So this one's pretty easy because the only word that has 3 syllables is Saturday. Right there. I don't know why that's not white. There you are. Let's do one more. Let's go down to number 6. All right. Communicate. Communication. Educate. Education. Here, your answer is education because it has 4 syllables and syllable number 3 is stress. Education. Here, syllable number 2 is stress. I'm sorry. Yes, syllable number 2 is stress. Communicate. This word has 5 syllables, and we're looking for a word with 4 syllables. So this is why education over here is your answer. Okay. This one is also on page 139. If you want to do this on your own time, these are words or expressions that have the same number of syllables, but there's one word where there's stress in a different place. Look at your example. October, November, December, January. So January is different because syllable 1 is stressed, where in October, November, and December, syllable number 2 is stressed. Let's take a look at that one. You say Saturday, holiday, tomorrow, yesterday. So your answer is tomorrow here because syllable 2 is stressed, where here syllable 1, and syllable 1 are stressed. Let's come down to this one down here. What is it? Now let's look at number 9, all right? It isn't true. I'll see you soon. No, it isn't. He's not at home. It isn't true. I'll see you soon. No, it isn't. He's not at home. This one's a little tricky. So which one do you think is different? Is it this one? It isn't true. This one? I'll see you soon. This one? No, it isn't. Or this one? He's not at home. So your answer is this one right here. This has stress on 1 and 3, where everybody else has stress on 2 and 4. 2 and 4, 2 and 4. I'll let you finish that if you haven't done so yet with your normal teacher. If you have any questions, please let me know. Also, I believe the answers are there for you in the back of your book also. There's an answer key that you can take a look at. Okay. All right. Let's move on. Next, all right, this is the most important part about pronunciation. This is your IPA, all right, your International Phonetic Alphabet. And you have to know your IPA. All my classes I teach, all my pronunciation classes I teach, you have to know your IPA because this has all the sounds of English. There are 44 sounds of English. Right? And your IPA chart, it all looks like this. You have your vowels up here. Then you have your consonants down here. Remember, these are phonemes. These aren't the letters that you're used to. So your IPA chart is broken down to vowels and consonants. This is the British IPA. Your book is the Oxford Cambridge Press. I'm American. There's some minor, some small changes that the American IPA is a little bit different from the British IPA. Those differences, I'll show you. I'll tell you which ones are different. All right, let's take a look at your vowels. So your vowel sounds, these are it. All right, a quick review. You have 20 vowel sounds. 12 are monophthong vowel sounds, which means there's only one vowel sound. One vowel sound. Right? The E sound, the E and the A. The I, the U, the U, R, and the U, O. And then over here you have 8 diphthong vowel sounds. And these are diphthongs because there are 2 vowel sounds combined to make one. Right? Look at this one. This is the I sound over here, and this is the sound over here. And you combine them together and it becomes ia, 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 right? As in the word ear and hear and career. So there's 8 of these diphthong sounds. And the ones you should have learned so far are the ia, the A sound, right? The O sound, the air sound. Right? This is the ea, air. And then this is the sound I, right? As in by and high and fine. These are the monophthong sounds that you should have learned so far. E, and I, the e, and the ah. This is This is ah, or because the British, they don't like the R sound. In the United States, we say R. The British say ah. And then the sound, as in not. And then there are the consonant sounds. Right? And the biggest difference between consonant, the voiced consonants are in the blue, and then the unvoiced consonants are in the green. And the biggest difference is simply that voiced consonant is that your throat vibrates. Right? So your throat is right below your neck. All right, you can touch your neck, and your throat should vibrate. and that is what makes a voiced consonant sound. An unvoiced consonant sound is when you have air comes, air is pushed out of mouth. So here, the air is usually pushed out of your mouth. A very good example is the p sound, as in the word pen. And if you make the p sound, you put your hand in front of your face, you get a lot of air. Where if you don't make the p, you make the b sound, you might get some air, but not as much as the p sound, the p sound. So that's the main difference. there's 15 voiced consonant sounds, and there's 9 unvoiced consonant sounds. Notice as it says no, there is no Y, the letter Y in the phonemes, right? Because the Y sound is down here. It looks like the letter J is the Y is down here, right? So there's no Y in IPA, and there's no Q. Q in IPA looks like that. Okay. So that's what Q looks like in IPA, is the qua. Also over here, notice there's no letter C in IPA. There's no letter C in IPA. Right? Like in the word cash, right? You spell IPA cash, it's the K sound. And also notice there's no letter X in IPA either. Right? X looks like this. All right? That's X. So again, notice there's no Y, there's no Q, no C or X symbols in IPA. All right. Let's move on. So you've learned, or I taught, many different types of sounds, and there's different classifications of sounds. Right? The first word, it says fricative. And what is a fricative sound? And fricative sounds, you've learned, are down here. And they're sounds that's made by partially blocking the air, which creates an audible friction. So friction, like when you make the sound and and s and z and z and these are the fricative sounds in English, because here you create the sound by putting two parts of your mouth together to cause friction. So the definition of a fricative sound is a sound that's made by partially blocking the air, which creates an audible friction. Next, the affricate sound. There's 2 affricate sounds in English. An affricate sound is a sound made by stopping the airstream first and then releasing it with an audible friction. So an affricate sound is a stop sound followed by a fricative sound. Here are your 2 affricate sounds, right here, the ch and the j. Again, this is the ch and this is the j. This is unvoiced, this is voiced. So the affricate sound is a combination of 2 consonant sounds. The first one, the t, this is a stop consonant, and the next sound, the sh, this is a fricative. So a stop plus a fricative makes an affricate sound. Here, this is the stop sound, d, and this is the fricative sound, zh, come together to make j. Next sound, the stop consonants. There's 6 stop consonants in English language, right here. And you've learned all these already. This is the p, b, t, d, k, g. And they're stop consonants because you stop the air. You stop the air and then you release it. And the voiceless stop p has a voiced partner, b. And when it's voiced, remember, all you do is your throat shakes. You vibrate your throat. This stop consonant, you stop it with your lips. You stop the air with your lips before you release it. This stop consonant, you stop the air up here with your tongue. This is called your alveolar ridge. Then this stop consonant, you stop it with your throat back here. K and g. So these are your 6 stop consonant sounds. Then you have glide sounds. And you have 3 glide sounds. And a glide sound is a sound that is made when the air flowing over the tongue when it leaves the mouth. And this can be very similar to a vowel sound. Your 3 glide sounds are the w and y. And the glide sound are made by just simply air goes over your tongue when it leaves the mouth. These sometimes act like vowels, like in the word one, right? Like the number 1, O-N-E. Even though it doesn't have the w sound, you pronounce it as one, right? Even though you spell it O-N-E. And this is because these sounds, the 3 glide sounds, can sometimes act as vowels. All right. Next, monophthong and diphthong. We've already discussed that. Monophthong is a single 1 vowel sound, and diphthong are two vowel sounds that come together to make 1 vowel sound. R-colored vowel sounds. R-colored vowel sounds, there's 7 in English. I want to go back to where the British, they usually don't like to they make the R sound, like in the word car. I'm American, so I'll say car. Where the British, they'll say ka. So it's up to you. How do you want to pronounce it? There's no wrong. If you want to sound British, you usually don't have the R sound. Right? They say ka. But in the United States, we say car. Right? Same thing as hair. We say hair, where the British say hay. The other R-colored vowel sounds, these are them down here. You should have learned this one, and this one right here. So this is R, and this is air, and this is ear. The other ones we'll also learn during online learning. All right. Let's go down here. So in this chart, this has every sound that you should have learned. All right. This takes you all the way to Unit 15. I know a lot of teachers, they jumped around, went to other units, but you should have learned all these sounds already. And if you haven't, you need to send me a message. I can do a Google Meet with you to give you some extra teaching time and to go over these sounds with you. So let's look up here. Here, this is the ch and the j sound. These sounds, you usually spell it with the ch. That's common. The ch, like in chair and child, right? As in teach. And then the j sound, you usually get the letter J. Okay. Or sometimes you get the letter G, as in the word gym. Right? You get so this is unvoiced and this is voiced. Here, these are your 3 glide sounds, and these are special. And these are special because they will never be the final sound of a word. So again, these will never be the final sound of a word. For example, let's say no. Right. So here, this isn't the w sound. This is the o sound. So the word no, the final sound is o down here, not no. Okay. So these 3 sounds, they'll never be the final sound of a word. And these are glide sounds. This sound, this is a diphthong, and this is the sound I, as in by. And here are your stop consonants, your 6 stop consonants. And then you learn these sounds, These are special because these are your three nasal consonants in English. And it's nasal because the sound comes from your nose. All right? Nasal means nose. So the air has to come out of your nose when you make these sounds. And then you come over here, you have the sh and the zh sound. The sh sound, this is very commonly, you'll get this, you'll see that, right? Sometimes though, you'll also see the S as in the word sugar, right? That's sugar. So be careful with your spelling. This sound right here, this is very rare. This is the zh sound, as in television, or usual, visual, garage, Asian. Right? This is rare. Here, these two sounds are special because these are your two unstressed. Oops, sorry. These are your two unstressed vowel sounds. Remember, words have stress, syllables that are stressed and unstressed. Most words, if it's unstressed syllable, will have the sound, and sometimes have the I sound. If you want for further review on that, that is Unit 7 in your book. All right, that's Unit 7. And if you're confused about that, I would go back and look, all right, because these sounds are two of the most common sounds in the English language. Next sound, these were the first two that you learned, the ah and the a sound. Right? One's a monophthong and one's a diphthong. Right? Monophthong is in when you say the word cat, but when you say cake, it has the a sound, and this is a long sound, a. Then over here you have the s and the z sound. This we'll talk about more about this in a little bit when we talk about the endings of plural words, right? The s and the z sound. And then here are your three R-colored vowel sounds you should have learned. R, air, and ear. So these are known as the R-colored vowels. Because in United States, we like to add the R sound to it. Then these are fricatives. You learn these together. This is the f and the v. Remember the word off and of. All right. Off has the f sound right here, and of has the v sound. And then you got these two sounds that are very common mistakes made, especially from Asian speakers. One's a l, another one's a r. You have to be careful with these sounds. This is in Unit 13, if you want to go back and look. Right? This is Unit 13. The biggest way to tell the difference is the location of your tongue in your mouth. Is the biggest way to know when you make the l sound, your tongue touches the top of your mouth. Where when you make the r sound, your tongue doesn't touch the top of your mouth. Next, this is the oh, and this is the o sound, right? The oh and o sound. Next one is the eh. Words like head, bed, right? Friend. And then the last one, this is the e sound. This is a long vowel sound, e as in sheep, all right, or beach, or meat. Okay. So that is every sound that you should have learned up to Unit 15. Before I leave you, I want to talk about two important things, all right? Endings of words. And this is Unit 23 and 24. The S endings this is Unit 23 right here, Unit 23. And the S endings, there's three ways you can pronounce words with S endings. And it's the is, the s, or the z sound. when words end in unvoiced consonant sound like p, k, t, f. If you add an S to it, the S will have the S sound. When words end in voiced consonant sounds like b and d, g, l, g, r, y. If you add an S to it, the S will have the Z sound. If words end in the S, with these letters, if it ends in these letters, you have to add an ES to make the plural endings. And ES plural endings have the is sound. Watches, dishes, changes. Here, this might help you a little bit more. There's 3 rules. Again, the easiest way to remember this, if the word ends in these sounds, all right, it has the is. If the words end in these sounds, these are voiceless sounds, unvoiced sounds, the S has a S. And if the word ends in a voiced consonant or a vowel sound, the S has a Z sound. A vowel sound like the word bee, B-E-E, like the little insect. Many bees is, you pronounce it with the Z sound, bees, because the final sound is a vowel sound, E. And then you had your ED endings, right? Wanted, needed. If the word ends in T or D, you have to add an ED, and ED has the id sound. The TED and the DID have the tid and the did sound. If it ends in a voiceless and unvoiced consonant sound, it has the T sound, like helped, looked, laughed, washed, kissed, danced. If it ends in a voiced consonant sound, the ED ending has the D sound. Called, cleaned, loved, used, amazed, claimed. And the same thing, if it ends in a vowel sound, it also has the D sound. Here you go. Some more rules. You want to take a look at this. It's the same thing that we talked about. Let's do a short exercise. Here it says, label the ED endings with the correct sounds. All right, so look at number 1. It says, last night I watched a movie and played football. So this ED ending right here, you say watched. So this would have, the T sound, because there we are, okay. Because this is unvoiced right here. This is an unvoiced sound. Because it's unvoiced, air hits your mouth, so the ED will have a T sound. Look at this one, played football. So the final sound, A, this is a vowel sound, the sound A. So the ED after a vowel sound is not going to have the T sound. Let me copy this real quick. It's going to have the D sound. So the ED after a vowel sound, this ED right here, it's going to have the D sound because it's followed by, or it follows a vowel sound. Look at number 2. He laughed and cried as he chopped the onion. Here, laughed. This is the F sound, which is an an unvoiced sound. So the ED, what do I do now? This is a pain in the butt. There we go. ED will have the t sound, right? Cried. All right, so the final sound, I. This is a vowel sound. So just like in played, a vowel sound, the ED that follows a vowel sound has to have, oh my gosh, the ED followed by a vowel sound I don't know what it's doing now. Has to have the D sound. Right? You're welcome to finish this exercise for review if you'd like. If you have any questions, please send me a message. Oop, what did I do there? Okay, so that was a long video. I'm gonna end today's lesson there. That was a review. I'm gonna send homework using Google Forms to you, and that'll be sent out later, and it'll be available to you. It'll probably be scheduled for later today, Wednesday. I give you 5 days to do your homework. 5 days. So again, if you have any questions, send me a WhatsApp, all right, or invite me to a Google Meet, and then we can talk to each other. You can follow the Logos YouTube channel, all right, subscribe to that, and then you like us on our Facebook page for more information, for updates about your online learning and anything about Logos College. Okay? Okay, well, that's it for today. Thanks for watching today. I hope you learned something, and I'll see you next time. Bye-bye.